I joined the United States Marine Corps in 1964, and I went to Vietnam in 1966 to 1967.
We had to open up a brand new LZ. It was called LZ Baldy. And we had to build a perimeter and build the whole LZ from nothing. They would fly over it on the perimeter and spray Agent Orange, and the next day there'd be nothing left but sand and dirt.
We probably laid in it, we drank it, we probably slept in it, not knowing what this stuff was doing to us.
Hundreds of thousands of U.S. troops are sent to Vietnam, where they are exposed to Agent Orange, a lethal chemical herbicide used to defoliate forested and rural lands. How these chemicals would impact service members and their families later in life was not known and remained undocumented for many years.
I'm the first one in my family to have a heart condition. The doctor told me, he says, your heart's not working right and your lungs are filling up with fluid. I'm putting you on the heart transplant list right away. I had to sleep on a recliner at night because if I laid down, it was like drowning.
I was 34 years old when I first experienced my problem with the heart disease. It was a very difficult thing for me to deal with. Coming back and having to deal with open heart surgery in '77 and then having to deal with the same problem again in 1993, in 2005, having a metal valve put into my heart. It was an experience that I never thought in a million years that I would have to go through.
By the 1980s, many veterans begin developing illnesses that have been scientifically linked to the toxic Agent Orange chemicals. Yet chloracne, an unsightly skin condition among veterans who returned from Vietnam, is the only disease VA links to Agent Orange exposure and compensates veterans for. All other claims from veterans are denied.
I filed claims and never heard anything about it. And I kept telling myself, well, they're understaffed, and I can see their point, but holy cow, somebody's got to talk to me, sooner or later.
After I filed the first one in 1980, and they denied it, I really didn't think I had any place else to go. I felt like I was being betrayed by my own country.
In 1986, the National Veterans Legal Services Program, NVLSP, files a lawsuit on behalf of all Vietnam veterans and their survivors who were unfairly denied benefits under VA regulations. It was known as Nehmer versus U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs.
They were very helpful, especially the gentleman that I was dealing with. His name was Dan. He was a really nice guy. He understood my problem, told me that they would be able to help me to file a claim, and they would help me get the things that I needed in order to do this.
How he got my name or anything, I got no idea, because they got a hold of me. I didn't get a hold of him. He said, you mind if we take your case on? I said, no. I said, how much, do you guys take for that? And he says, nothing. He says, we do it all free. And I said, holy cow. It's one of those too good to be true deals.
In 1991, NVLSP lawyers score a major victory in court by reaching a settlement agreement in the Nehmer case that requires the VA, upon recognizing a correlation between Agent Orange exposure and a disease, to identify all claims based on the newly recognized disease. It requires the VA to pay disability and death benefits to the veteran or survivor who was previously denied, retroactive to when the claim was originally filed.
After I got my Agent Orange disability for my heart, I got I believe it was like $41,000 back pay they give me. They run it back to 2009. And he told me that they think they can take it back to 2005. They had evidence that I had ischemic heart problem back then too.
They handled the whole procedure for me. They were very, very thorough in what they did, and They were very, very nice people to deal with. They explained to me that I should be hearing from them, the VA, shortly. And I did. They gave me 100% with pay.
Make a long story short, they took my case on and they won it, and I got my statement, and there's 127,000 more than there should be. And I said, wow.
As a result of the tireless efforts of NVLSP, Nehmer versus U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs remains one of the most successful class action lawsuits on behalf of United States veterans in our nation's history, resulting in over $4.5 billion in retroactive benefits awarded to hundreds of thousands of Vietnam veterans. The story, however, does not end there. Despite the successful settlement, NVLSP attorneys have since identified over 3,000 errors made by the VA that shortchanged veterans on the amount of benefits they received. By working to correct these errors, NVLSP has won more than $50 million in additional benefits for veterans and continues to monitor the settlement to this day. The Nehmer class action is only one part of NVLSP's work, but it illustrates the immense difference a dedicated organization of expert advocates can make in the lives of those who served.
The work that NVLSP is doing for veterans is invaluable, and I don't know of any other organization that is providing that level of legal advice to help veterans receive the benefits that they're entitled to at no cost to the veteran. One of the things that I struggled with when I came back was PTSD. My back was going out, every couple months I was having episodes where my back would just give out completely and I'd end up in the emergency room. And the attorneys there really explained to me that these things are here for you, but you have to fight for them. And luckily for me, I had somebody who was willing to help me fight for them.
Today's veterans face enormous challenges in securing the disability benefits to which they are entitled. Expert legal advocates from NVLSP are working today to ensure that these veterans and service members receive the benefits they are promised by law.
I never dreamed that this would turn out the way that it did. I had a very pessimistic view from the start, and these guys really stuck with me, and they put in literally thousands of hours of their own time, and for that I am eternally grateful.
Without an organization of this type, I very seriously doubt that any of them would receive the benefits that they really deserve.
I'd like to say NVLSP did a super job, and I can't be more proud of them, and I just hope they keep helping other veterans, the way they helped me.
NVLSP currently represents over 100,000 veterans and service members across the country and around the world, in an effort to ensure that they receive the benefits to which they are entitled. NVLSP will continue to serve as the watchdog for our nation's 25 million veterans and active duty personnel who have sacrificed so much by choosing to serve our country in the armed forces.